Welcome back, nerds. Fino here with a guide for Halloween Rebellion of 108, a Dragon Girl's Water Margin. This event requires Olympus completion and is your ticket to getting FGO's first free pretender, Eliza the Nine-Tattooed Dragon. Given that the only other AoE pretender at the moment is Oberon, I think you can see the value in having one that's a bit less all-in. And as for how you actually do the event, you'll have to populate Mount Liang's roster with your own servants. As you clear event quests, you get progress towards objectives corresponding to what I can only assume is the total level of servants you have in that particular category. And yes, that includes levels from Grayling. This progress you can augment by using a number of craft essences that correspond to each objective type. The most notable of these is Dancing on Lotus Blossoms. This increases military affairs points, but it's useful even outside of the event. That's because it has defense ignore, buster, and crit buffs, while also being a full attack investment CE, so it's something nice to have in your back pocket. Even if you get nothing else out of this event, you'll want to max out Elizabeth and Lotus Blossoms. Tiger Hunting Pilgrims gives government affairs points, and Overflowing Indulgence provides internal affairs points. You can get 4 copies of each craft essence from the event shop. For the 5th, you'll have to complete one-off fundraising quests that you unlock for completing a certain number of Mount Liang assignments. Later on, these quests also give you the event's command codes. Of these, Knight Templar of the Abyss is the most notable, providing a 3-turn curse and flat stars. Obviously a nice thing to have for curse memes or as an enabler for a certain anti-curse craft essence down the road. 9-section Staff of the Azure Dragon has star absorption and purges a crit chance buff. Sibu Zhang increases buff removal resistance by a tiny amount and comes with a small heal. That's the general stuff you need to know. Now let's go high-end. The 90++ node for Halloween Rebellion is a 1-3-1 arrangement with a mix of Knight class enemies. The final foe is a 700,000 health saber, Dioscuri. This seems like the kind of fight I'd just use Chengong for, but my only footage of this has me failing a hybrid Creamhilt clear. User error probably, but I don't have a proper Chengong clear for what it's worth. What my archival footage has, instead, is a team with Chloe as the main attacker and 9-Tattoo Eliza for the 3-enemy wave. This one does use Black Grail, though I suspect an Oberon swap could massage the damage requirement somewhat, given that Dioscuri doesn't hit the dreaded 1 million threshold a lot of 90++ bosses reach. And of course, if your own Oberon is strong enough, he could deal with the AoE wave himself, so you'd have to watch out for his NP giving enemies invulnerability if they survive, which is a real run destroyer. It's also worth noting that of the event CEs, Overflowing Indulgence gives starting charge, so if you plan to go for a 6-slot clear, or you'd like to incorporate a support NP like, say, Castorius or Santa Martha's, you should give careful consideration to who gets it. Now let's move on to the challenge quest, which pits you against Hu Yanzhuo, a fake Liz, and Yan Qing. The bulk of this fight revolves around manipulating Hu Yanzhuo's mental stacks. When she has no stacks, she takes more damage. These stacks also give her damage reduction with 10% per stack up to 50%. Also 5% attack per stack up to 25%. There are a few ways of removing stacks. Firstly, if she's given any mental debuffs or effective stuns, she loses a stack. These include Sleep, Stun, Pig, Charm, Confusion, and Terror. Secondly, if she uses her NP, she loses 2 stacks. Once she's at 0, she has a skill that can regain a stack. Hu Yanzhuo reduces your defense on hit, and this can spiral out of control due to its 3-turn duration. On first break, this defense down intensifies to 20% and she regains 3 stacks. On second break, she becomes debuff immune 1 time and gains 5 stacks. Yan Qing has persistent crit damage. On break, he gains more crit damage and gives Huyan 3 stacks. On top of this, he has a reusable skill that can give Hu Yanzhuo more stacks. And if she's at 0, he has yet another one that can give her 2. Eliza begins the fight with debuff immunity. On first break, she refreshes her debuff immunity, gains a 3-hit invuln, and gives Hu Yanzhuo 2 stacks. On second break, she gets a full NP bar. Every few turns, she buffs the other enemies with generic steroids. Most troublingly, there's crit chance, which means if she and Yan Qing linger for too long, the latter can start obliterating your party. This same buff also charges the enemies 1 tick. This mechanic gains additional effects depending on whether the other enemies have their bars broken or not. If Huyan has any broken bars, the enemies gain the ability to purge a defensive buff on hit. If Yan Qing has any broken bars, they gain the ability to purge offensive buffs on hit. Lastly, Ellie can also give Huyan stacks on a skill. One solution is to rapidly eliminate Eliza to stop her buffs from accumulating and making a defense untenable. You'll need Invuln Pierce for this strategy. Then you can eliminate Yan Qing to deny Hu Yanzhuo external sources of stack generation. If you're going this route, a foreigner would be ideal. Vango is particularly promising, since she can generate a reliable stream of debuffs and her crit damage will make short work of Elizabeth, provided you come in with a solution for her invulnerability. That said, be aware that Hu Yanzhuo has Invuln Pierce on a basic skill, so come in with countermeasures, like Guts or maybe use an alternative art setup with Castoria. Another option is to go in fast with an AoE caster or foreigner. Unlike with my 90++ shenanigans, I found Changong makes quick work of this fight. If you happen to have that really old Summer 1 Mystic code, it comes with Invuln Pierce and lets you go in full steam ahead. Even if you don't have a crazy strong attacker that can 3-turn the fight, you just need to eliminate Yanqing while pressuring the other two. That should give you enough breathing room to make something happen. That's all for now, lads. Like if you enjoyed this video, subscribe for more, and come out to my twitch.tv/Finotaisen where I stream every week, 3 p.m. Pacific time, Wednesday and then Friday through Sunday. This coming week, I'll be playing FTL Faster Than Light on Wednesday, Resident Evil 6 Co-op on Friday, Team Fortress 2 with subs on Saturday, and FGO on Sunday. So stop on by if you want to hang out. See you there.